everywhere across the globe who are joining us. We will probably just give it a couple of minutes for the rest of our friends, hackers, and colleagues to join it, and then we'll quickly begin. It's about time we start. So, like I mentioned, welcome to everyone who's joining the session, whether it be on Zoom today or on the AngelHack YouTube channel. A very, very warm welcome to all of you who are joining us across the globe to the Celo and Huobi Stablecoin in Web3 and Sustainability Hackathon. Let me just start off with saying it's been such an amazing thing to see such a massive response to the hackathon in general. We have been so glad to see so many of you joining in for this hackathon. Now today's session is all about the Web3 scholarships, and we will talk about that in a bit. But let's talk about some of the things that we would cover in the session today. So first of all, obviously, like I mentioned, today's session is all about our guest speakers talking about the Web3 scholarships. But before that, obviously, we would want to cover a little bit about the hackathon and what has it been so far. Also, you must have seen this in the opening ceremony, etc. But we definitely wanted to give you some information for all of those who are joining us new, who would be interested in joining the hackathon. So let's start off by knowing a little bit about the hackathon itself. So what is Celo and Huobi Stablecoin in Web3 and Sustainability Hackathon all about? Now, basically, this hackathon is a virtual hackathon that we are hosting, and it has 3 different challenge statements. So let's talk about the challenge statements first before we go ahead and talk about anything else like the prize pool, etc. Now, coming to the challenge statements, now all of you, I'm sure, who have already joined us in previous sessions know about this, but for the people who are joining us new or who are viewing this on YouTube and would be interested in joining us for the hackathon, we basically have 3 different challenge statements to tackle in this hackathon. First and foremost, obviously, there are 3 challenge statements, and the first one is on the stablecoin integrated DApp solutions. So basically, if we talk about the challenge a little bit more, we want our hackers to create financial solutions on Celo with a focus on expanding the use of Celo dollars. And Celo dollars is something we call CUSD to the emerging markets with higher rates of inflation, or explore payment tools and middleware. So that's the first challenge statement for you. The second one is basically an integration of stablecoins and DAO. So I'm sure by now, knowing about this hackathon, you have seen a lot of details around it. What is stablecoin? What is DAO? And we did give a brief of everything in the opening ceremony. But basically, the second track talks about the integration of stablecoin and DAO. So it's surrounded with you creating projects, integrating stablecoin with DAO, including credit-based finance, crowdsourcing platforms, venture DAO, and decentralized charity. Now, this could include credit lending, collateral lending, etc. Now, the third challenge statement, but last but not the least, is actually the use of the integration of stablecoin with DeFi mobile solutions. You heard it right. So that's the last challenge, which is basically about DeFi mobile solutions, utilizing stablecoin with DeFi mobile solutions in order to integrate a Web3 component into DeFi. Now, what are some of the ideas that you can get started with? It could be the DeFi and Earn, or it could be the mobile DeFi and social Wi-Fi, or it could be just DeFi and interoperability. So those are the challenge statements for you. If you want to know a little more about the hackathon, obviously we have the opening ceremony, which has all the details about Stablecoin, about DAO, and what the hackathon is all about. Also, we have the website and the participants guide once you register for the hackathon in store for you. Now, let's talk about what is it if I win the hackathon and what's the motivating factor for me, and also the upcoming events in the hackathon. So quickly coming to the prizes of the hackathon. You got it right. It is actually 500,000 CUSD, 4 weeks of hackathon and 16 prizes. So it couldn't get better. It couldn't get more interesting because you have a lot to win. And it's not only one prize. There are a lot of prizes for you to kind of get hold of. So please look at the prizes, look at the hackathon, and then see if you are interested to participate. Now let's talk a little bit more about what are the prizes in store for you. Now, every challenge is actually having an individual winner. That's right. So each challenge winner actually gets 50,000 CUSD, a hackathon swag box, and also the most important prize I feel of all is the listing opportunity on Huobi. That's right. So that's each challenge winner. That's what they get. And the runners-up, which is the 3 runners-up, actually get 15,000 CUSD and a hackathon swag box. Now, this is per challenge statement. So anyone, you could probably start choosing any of the challenge statements and you could win these awards that I just talked about. Now, apart from that, we also have some other awards for you, which is basically most innovative award. So if your project is selected as the most innovative, you would stand a chance to win 5,000 CUSD and a hackathon swag box. Interesting enough? I'm sure there's a lot more that you could win. Now there's some bonus that we have added to this. Now, if you have seen our opening ceremony, our colleagues could not talk more about the challenge, climate change component being added to the challenge. But if you are one of those participants or one of those teams who are actually utilizing the climate change, we have a bonus for you. All those teams who are utilizing the climate change component actually would be awarded 5,000 CUSD on top of any prize. That's right. So basically, you can integrate climate change or carbon credits, anything that you want. And on top of the prize, you stand a chance to win 5,000 CUSD. Now, there is more. This is not it. The grand prize. So we have the grand prize in store for you, which is the overall grand prize, which our winner out of all the projects, one of the projects can win this, which is 100,000 CUSD, which is the grand prize, along with a hackathon swag box, and again, the most important, like I mentioned, which is the listing opportunity on Huobi. So those are the prizes that are in store for you. Like I mentioned, a lot of things which are there, 16 prizes, 4 weeks of hackathon, and a lot of prizes for you to win. So if this is not motivating enough, I'm not sure how much is. Plus, there is an opportunity to learn more about Celo, about Stablecoin, etc., and Huobi as well. So a lot in store for you in terms of learning and in terms of the prizes. Now let's move on to some of the upcoming events. So like I mentioned, it's not only the prizes, but we also want to make sure that all of you are well aware of what you are going to hack about and what are the support items that we could support you with. So we're going to make sure that we prepare you in the best way possible before we actually let you start hacking. So there are some events that already happened. I'm sure some of you have already attended it, which is the opening ceremony, etc. But let's talk about some of the upcoming events that you would be able to attend and gain knowledge from. Obviously, today's session is all about the Web3 scholarships, but then we also have one more session coming up today, which is about the mobile first resource for mobile and Web3 apps. And then, like I mentioned, any hackathon is not successful without the mentors supporting you. And those people are the crux of the hackathon itself. So we have a few mentor office hours coming for you. Please do check out the schedule. If you've already got your participants guide and you have registered, you must have received the participants guide. We have a few mentor office hours happening on the 3rd, the 8th, the 10th, the 15th, and the 17th of June. So in case you are available of any one of those dates at these particular timings that I mentioned, please do join us for the mentor office hours and get your doubts clarified, even if it's the most basic ones, which will help you create the best projects and win some of those prizes. And now, most important thing is how to get started. Now, a lot of you, like I mentioned, have gone through the website or maybe just joining in for this session and want to know more about the hackathon and how do I actually get started as a participant or as an interested participant. All you need to do is register for the hackathon. You could scan the barcode here and just follow the path. You would be able to register for the hackathon. And simply because it qualifies you for prizes and also a great opportunity to be a part of something big, which is coming up very shortly. So yes, that's where you register for the hackathon. Also, once you do register, while you get the participants guide with all the information that you need to, but do join the Celo Discord channel that has the participants guide, all announcements and everything happening in that. So do join the Celo Discord channel. Save the hackathon calendar. This is something that I remind to all our hackathon participants. There is a lot happening in the hackathon, loads of learning, webinars, mentor office hours, etc. And it's hard to keep pace with it. So please save the hackathon calendar for you, and you won't miss any of those sessions that we are bringing live to you. Start going through the resources. I think that's extremely important while the mentors are there for you to help you with the various queries you have or how to get started. We also have the organizing team, which would be available, but it's definitely, as a hacker, very important for you to go through the resources and see what is the kind of requirements that can help you build to the final submission. So all those things that you require to get started and get going with your project, everything is available in the resources section. So do have a look at the resources section, which can help you get started and get going. With that, I think that's all we had in terms of the introduction about the hackathon and what it is all about. But without any further ado, I think it would be great if I could invite my speaker for today, who is a very, very interesting personality. He would be taking you through the Web3 scholarship, as we talked about. So let's welcome Chao Letty. He's the head of research at Polka Startup. Chao, a very, very warm welcome to you, and thank you so much for taking this session for us. Over to you. But before that, just a quick announcement. We would be having Q&A towards the end. So in case you have any questions in the middle, please do drop it in our Q&A section if you join us through Zoom, or if you are on our YouTube channel, please do just put it on chat and we'll pick it up from there. So with that, over to you, Chao.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Very excited to be here and share some stuff that we do at Polka Starter, and also potentially help with a few things for all the people interested in this hackathon. So maybe I would start with an introduction from myself. So I'm João. I've been in crypto full-time for 5 years already. Since the early days, I think everyone kind of starts as an investor and trader in this space, right? But once I started as well to basically join communities and start helping projects since the early days. And then I eventually joined Polka Starter as analyst in 1.5 years ago. And now I'm leading kind of the research team and helping a lot of projects since the early days until the actual launch and also after, right? So maybe I can also start explaining what Polka Starter is for most people that don't know. So Polka Starter, the name, it's a bit misleading. We were supposed to be a Polkadot project, but because they kept delaying the launch, we kind of decided to implement other chains initially. And one of them is Celo, most recently. So the idea behind Polka Starter is basically with two pillars in crypto. So the first one is having the ability to help founders and early projects to raise funds publicly through a loyal and strong community of users and investors, right? Through the so-called and very popular in this last year IDO model, right? The second part here that we do that is not exactly public is we help these projects and we advise them, we connect them with the right people, the right companies in this space. So they have everything they need, not only for a successful launch, which is of course important, but also for them to have the right guidance, the right network of partners to be successful long term, right? So that's kind of the core value of what we do at Polka Starter. And we've been doing this again for 1 year and a half, more on take, and it's been quite well. So maybe I can jump into the ideal model, which is it's been very, very popular, especially in the last year. Of course, in crypto, when things get a bit popular, or when you see one or two projects kind of having a lot of hype and a lot of usually follows with the price action, right, which everyone follows and everyone gets euphoric. There is a lot of projects to kind of copy the model or try to make it better, right? And the launch pads and IDO kind of section, it's a prime example of that, right? I think everyone kind of that is in crypto hear about the launch pad or IDO somewhere, right? So the IDO model, like some projects or so-called launch pads doing it a bit different. But basically, the model is just to explain in a high-level perspective, means that there is a project, like for example, Polka started as, of course, a token, and that token is used to show commitment from the community and to give them access to early projects. So basically, the community have the possibility to invest in early projects and also be super early in terms of trying their products, joining their community, and so on. So that the ideal model is interesting compared with the probably one of the most known and very bad reputation now, which is the ICOs, right? In 2017, everyone saw what happened. So the IDO is a bit different because, again, you need to have those tokens. You need to have some skin in the game, and you have to go to a whitelist process. So you need to complete some certain tasks, participate in some certain contest to be able to have the opportunity to invest, right? Of course, this cycle is a bit different from 2017 as well. Projects are raising far less funds, so it's a bit difficult for the public to get access to these investment opportunities, and of course, a lot of the supply and a lot of funding comes from private investors, right? So we at Polka started with IDO model. We want to kind of democratize and give opportunity to the community to invest in these early projects, and not some only the private investors which basically get the best valuation and the best opportunities, right? One and of course every type of fundraising as their cons and pros, right? The pros with the IDO model is definitely you get access to a community since the early days, because people really put work and want to get involved. To, of course, the financial incentives is always there in crypto. No matter what you do, people still want to make money, right? But there is ways, and this maybe it's a challenge for everyone participating in Hackathon, because one of the problems with crypto as a whole, and especially in fundraising, is the problem is not raising funds. That's quite easy in crypto. Everyone has capital, and everyone wants to participate and invest in early projects. The problem is the amount of value and the amount of work and help these investors can do to projects, right? In the BC world, there is also that problem, because there is a lot of investors that only fund these projects and don't actually help them long term, right? And that's a problem, because money, of course, is super important for the development of a project, but providing value and helping this project is far more important. So one of the cons to the IDO model is definitely align the value that a community member or an investor can bring to a project according to their allocation, right? So in the normal IDO model and whitelist at the moment, most people, of course, follow the socials on the project. They might produce some piece of content in some occasions, which is a nice way to do marketing and also, of course, educating the community about the project. But generally, most investors, they just want so-called free stuff. They just want to invest, make money, and move forward, right? And that's not ideally, because again, the foundation of every crypto project is their community, right? And community, of course, needs to be aligned financially. Everyone in crypto needs to have skin in the game, but at the same time, they should be able to help this project, right? So definitely one of the problems right now in the industry is basically getting tokens from the different fundraising rounds in the right hands, right? In the hands of people that really care about the project, can really provide value, and can really elevate these projects to a success, right? So definitely one of the things that I see that needs to be solved, and this, of course, I'm talking more in the public perspective, but again, this is happening in the private investment side as well. For me, I would say that again, we are kind of in a bear market. I think everyone kind of accepted at the moment. So what I really want to see in the next few months, years, is really go into that value-driven approach, right? So basically, we can potentially create tools, protocols, platforms to allow these people that are super interested, they can help these projects to have access to these allocations, because in the end, they deserve it, right? They are the ones putting using their time, their resources, and actually care, right? I think crypto as a whole need to shift from a speculative kind of perspective to a more value driven, right? Because again, that's the only way for the industry to actually be here long term, right? Is if we can create valuable products, valuable protocols that everyone can use and utilize, right? If we keep basically creating projects and funding them and basically only seeing the speculative aspect, we are basically going nowhere, right? I would say. So one of the interesting things I really like about Celo is the concern, the social impact concern, right? Which in crypto is very interesting because we have this technology that basically removes the middleman, removes potentially greediness and like centralize or people that wants to control everything and give back to the people, right? Back to the community, which is quite powerful, right? The only problem that I see is people in crypto still are looking to make a quick buck and are probably more interested in investing or be involved in a meme coin than actually a project that has a real world social impact, right? And the reason for that is very, very simple and clear, right? People probably will make much more money with the meme coin, right? Which is, I mean, acceptable in some cases. Everyone is free to do whatever they want, right? But again, to be order to make this industry something valuable in the future and actually create protocols and projects and companies that make a real impact, we need to start think differently. And also, I think this kind of hackathons and this kind of funding to developments and new ideas, it's important because we can potentially change that first with tools, right? With financial incentives, with protocols that works and incentivize people to do good and not only to speculate or gamble in some cases. So I would say it's kind of a challenge for anyone attending this hackathon. I come from a more crowdfunding kind of section, but there is a lot of stuff to do for sure. But I believe crowdfunding is a powerful section in the market because it allows you to fund ideas, right? Allows you to fund innovation. So I think Celo is definitely aligned with the overall vision of banking the unbanked and have a real social impact in the world. So I'm really excited to see what the attendance can really create in this kind of environments. And I'm sure Celo and also with the support of Huobi, there is definitely some cool projects that you guys will build. So yeah, I just wanted to share some of these ideas. But I'm open to any question as well from the public if you guys have any. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I think that was really, really insightful. And I'm sure we will have a lot of questions, but probably we would keep the questions towards the end. I think some of the participants are still kind of putting in their notes while, and they would be getting to the questions in a bit. But before that, in the meantime, just like to thank you so much, Joe, and for the insightful session today. And with that, probably now I would like to hand the session over to Lou, our colleague and partner from Huobi. She's the Dev Relationships Manager at Huobi Incubator, and she will be talking a little bit more about the Web3 scholarships. Over to you, Lou, and a very, very warm welcome to the session.
Yeah, thank you so much, Asta, and thank you so much, Shell. And we are really happy to have you as a partner of our Web3 scholarship. So, like after this discussion, I think the audience and developers might get a sense of what we're doing. Um, I come from a Huobi incubator, so we are the accelerator that supports early stage ecosystem projects. We kind of initiated and found, seeded this Web3 scholarship program because we think that mm, just doing this alone, we cannot provide the kind of resources and support that developers really need. And we would like to support the multi-chain landscape. And we also think the Web2 transition to the Web3 world is just magnificent. And so I think it's very important and critical to involve like as many diverse players in the space for us would be like better. And so basically, our Web3 scholarship is like a funding platform. So like with us to be kind of the contributor that provide grants on an ongoing basis to applicants and developers. So if you guys are interested to get bootstrapped, please just search Web3 Scholarship on Twitter, and I'm happy to just provide any information in the Discord to all of you. And so basically, you can send out the project info to us, and we'll have this periodically assessment of the projects. And so we will have interviews, and we'll have the demo day for our participants to get a chance to showcase what you're building. And so after that, we will have this internal decision on like how much grants we're giving out, and also like probably there is investment decisions as well. So basically, I think the grants that we give out for one time is like more than 300K to uh, like probably 100K like that, and that's flexible. And for investment, probably we can do like 200K to, I think the upper limit is like flexible according to what you're building and the stage you are. And so, yeah, but besides that, I think the core thing is that when you come into our incubator and become like kind of one of us, we'll be connecting you to like many of our Web3 scholarship members. So Polka Starter, and they're the ideal platform, which I think is the support that many projects might need to get bootstrap and go public in the marketplace. And we also have Dora hacks and many like investors, including Magnus Capital. And we also have some universities for you guys to make a speech or just have activities in all of the world. So I think this is a great alliance, and we have gotten like a momentum in the past few months, and right now we have like more than 15 members, and where the team is growing. So I think when you come to us, and right now and later, we'll be just providing you this different kind of customized incubation support for you guys. So yeah, I think to apply for grants and get investment, and also connect to the diverse kinds of like resources in the space, and also our resources in like liquidity and market making, or the community building and just digital marketing, I think that's the value added, also based on the exchange background of our incubator as well. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it for the Web3 scholarship. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Luke, for giving us such detail about the Web3 scholarship. I think a lot of you, at least if you didn't know about Web3 scholarships earlier, might have heard Lou and must be really interested in getting this, getting to know more about it. But if you are not having any questions on the chat specifically, please do. I'm sure you must be absorbing a lot of information at this moment and may not have questions at this point in time. But we are, like Lou mentioned, also available on Discord. So please feel free to connect with us on Discord. And in case you feel that some of those projects of yours could be, potentially viable for the Web3 scholarships, do reach out to Lou. She would be happy to help. All right, so with that, just checking in for any questions. I think most of the participants on YouTube and Zoom today are really absorbing the session. So I don't see any questions at this point in time. But having said that, we also do have a channel to answer any of your questions apart from this session as well. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us on Discord, and we will be happy to answer any one of your questions. Now, with that, just a final note on for all of those who are joining just now on how you could get going with the hackathon itself. We did cover it in detail some time back, but just for those of you who are streaming live now, you just need to register for the hackathon if you could scan the barcode, you will be able to register for the hackathon and you can qualify to win some amazing prizes, but more importantly, be a part of the community that is there to build something very big in the coming years. Join Celo Discord. I think that's where all the information is about all the details. So please, it's all about the hackathon announcements and all the events happening. So please do join the Celo Discord. Have the hackathon calendar saved for you because that's where you will get to know about all the events happening. We did run a bit about what's happening in June. So please have a look around that. And last but not the least, do look at the resources because that's the most important part from where you can get all the information about the hackathon and know more about the details. I think with that, we are really, really happy to have hosted you hosted all of you in this session today, and very, very excited to host you in the further sessions which are upcoming later in the month of June. But before we sign off, a really, really big thank you to Lou and our from Huobi. I think really well explained about the Web3 scholarships, and to Zhao. I think it's been a great, great session from the both of you, and couldn't thank you enough. And all our participants who joined us on Zoom today, as well as on the AngelHack YouTube. We would just want to sign off by saying happy hacking at Celo and Huobi Stablecoin in Web3 and Sustainability Hackathon. And we will host you in the sessions coming up in the month of June. Thank you, happy hacking, and have a nice day ahead.